Hello and welcome to Hawk Talk, coming to you live from the middle here at Utility Bowl, where I present to you Robbie's form guide for following Hampshire Hawks in their Global Super League campaign. Let's remind ourselves how the Hawks have got on so far. Well, the Rangpur Riders wasn't bad, was it? That super over win, not bad at all. Lahore Calendars wasn't meant to be in that one, defeat by 4 runs, fine. Then against the Guyana Amazon Warriors, well, they are the favourites for the tournament, so defeat for Chris Wood's men. The big question now then is, can the Hawks end the group stages with victory against Victoria, the side from Australia? And if so, which of these 5 sides will qualify for that final on Friday afternoon, playing for a whopping $1 million? And a reminder for those Hawks out there, if things get tough, to succeed, you must win. Got a lump in my throat.
That one stayed down and will be the first boundary of the evening. Wicket. Goes wide along off. That's a terrific stroke. Does that one beat mid on? It does.
Attacks the captain. Imran Tahir has been put away. Goes straight down the wicket and he keeps piling them on. 6 more. 50 up and it's the second 50.
That's caught. Yes,
Captain. So the deception comes from the senior. Feel you might just be able to defend. That'll give them a bit more hope. That'll get them a little closer.
Oh, nice.
Uh-oh. Right decision made. That's a maximum.
On the ground, not clean enough to get a boundary, but will produce 2 runs. So
them. Top edge, keeper gone. Oh, what a catch! What a catch! It had to be that way to dismiss a man in form.
It's edged and given. The youngster.
Got under it, but not strong enough.
Oh!
Might look for 2. Might get 4. Wow. Oh, he's gone all the way this time on the onside.
Underwood's long on. Oh, it's gone all the way. What power. And that'll do it. They're not leaving the ground tonight, the fans of the Guyana Amazon Warriors. They'll stick around and have a lime and a party for sure, because that has been...
So one final group game remains for the Hawks in the Global Super League for 2024. And to look ahead to it, Scott Currie, Matt Funnell are alongside me. And let's start, Scott, with the few days since that defeat to the Amazon Warriors. It was a bit of a tough night, let's be honest, for the Hawks. How will they have reflected, and how will those couple of days been in between?
I don't think there'll be too much feeling sorry for themselves or lip dragging or anything like that. Toys won't be out the pram, but a chance to reflect more than anything. They'll sit down and discuss it, and then maybe identify a few areas where they could have been a bit sharper, and how they'll look to rectify that in the next one.
Victoria, of course, the final group game for the Hawks, Matt. They won their first couple of games in this tournament. Have they maybe exceeded expectations? Have it gone under the radar?
Yeah, definitely. They've been really strong so far. You know, they've got a real clear identity in their team. You know, they've got 2 real strong batters up the top, and then some guys at the end, either to sort of fix issues or go hard. So and the young lads have done really well with the ball. So yeah, all round they've been really high quality.
Let's start with one of the experienced heads, Scott Edwards. Scott, you know a little bit about him. He is sort of the anchor of that team by the looks of it.
Absolutely. It seems to be a bit of a theme, doesn't there, that every team has got 1 or maybe 2 guys they're trying to build their innings around, and he's maybe not in the traditional sense, maybe more of in a finishing role towards the back end, but someone who's played a lot of associate cricket for the Netherlands, has captained the Netherlands at world events, knows his game incredibly well, and someone who has a method in terms of sweeping that is normally his go-to, that he's stuck to on these wickets, which obviously we've seen with Sean. He's gone the other way and played more conventionally straight down the wicket and used his feet. So there's always respect for guys that do it their own way and have success with that. So here's someone that I'm sure the lads will be working hard to talk about, and hopefully we can take care of him and keep him quiet.
And Matt, you've had your eye on one of the left-arm leg spinners that you don't see too much of nowadays, do you?
Yeah, Callum Stowe, he's been great. I think when you normally see left-arm leg spin, you're hoping for a few long ops or a few slow wide ones, but he's not really chucked any of them. He's bowled with real great consistency and turning it as well. And that's been shown by his figures, 1 for not many and now 3 for 15 in the last game.
Has he kept it quite simple as well? Because normally we see a lot of spinners that have a lot of variations, but people like Briggs, Dawson, they mix up their pace, but they maybe don't have too many variations of delivery. Is Stowe the same?
Yeah, definitely. I think his priority is just landing it in the right area. He's not trying to turn it square. He's going to get enough from the pitch. So yeah, he's just landing it in a good area and hope for the best.
Now, at time of recording, we don't know the permutations for the Hawks. They're pretty much going to be in with some kind of sniff, we think. It might be that things have to really go their way, or they might well still be in it. From a playing perspective, how do you go about those games where you know that there are maybe loads of numbers that you've got to think about, but you also want to perform, right?
Yeah, similarly to the Super Over and the Hawks heritage that came with that, this is another sort of classic Hampshire job where we might sneak in the back door as we have done over the years. From memory, in 2021 when we went to Notts, the game before against Glamorgan, it was one of them where there was a lot of numbers to be looked at and said, and I remember Joe Maiden frantically typing away trying to work it all out. But ultimately there's a game of cricket to be played, and the lads won't stray too far from that. Their processes of just playing the game and the results, whatever they may be, it's kind of null and void. But the job will be to focus on the game, focus on themselves, and bring the best account of themselves.
Do you rely on things like messages coming onto the field and everyone off the field doing their job to make sure that you can then go about your business?
Maybe a little bit. From memory, the game sort of moves so quickly anyway that you're probably not even thinking about it at all, rather than you're just trying to win the game ultimately, and then you worry about the rest afterwards. So I'm not sure there'll be too many messages. If it does get really tight and there's a run rate needed or whatever, there might be a message brought on, but for the large part it will just be play the game and see what happens.
And Matt, you will have been in contact with the guys out in Guyana. Result and qualification aside, what will the Hawks want to get out of this game?
Well, as silly as it sounds, just to win the game first and foremost. Good performance, trying to get out what we've put in. And then if it comes down to it, like Scott just said, and we know the situation that we need, then we can sort of change accordingly. But no, I think just trying to put into practice what we've been working so hard on, getting some boundaries way up top and then trying to get to a big score, or trying to restrict them to a low score and then trying to take that off reasonably comfortably.
I'll just say as well, I think there'll be there's always the talk around winning these tournaments and the prize money and the fame and whatever, but ultimately Hampshire have gone to this comp with an eye on development, and that's something that certainly for our younger batters, Ali Orrs, your Tom Press, even Joe Weatherly to a large part, Toby Albert, these experiences are priceless for them. Sonny Baker, another young player in that side. So results aside, there's always something to be learnt, no matter if it's a so-called dead rubber or not. The honour of playing for Hampshire is always massive as well. So there's always plenty to be learnt and taken from.
$1 million wouldn't be bad.
Oh, it is, Scott. Yeah, it's a nice trip abroad, isn't it?
Yeah, be all right. Nice holiday. Get your Christmas shopping done quickly with that. Anyway, thank you very much indeed, gents. We'll be back, of course, to review whatever happens out in Guyana. It is a 2 o'clock start on Thursday afternoon UK time. So if you're in the office, you can pop it on your phone or something like that, or just get the review that we'll bring out on Friday. Subscribe to Hampshire Cricket on YouTube, and we will speak then.